The UFC is returning to Rio on Saturday, October 11th at the Pharmacy Arena, and the card is going to be headlined by a lightweight contest. Charles Oliveira and Rafael Fiziev, that's number 4 in the lightweight division. Charles Oliveira versus number 10 in the division, Fiziev. Charles Oliveira is coming off the first knockout of his career just over a month ago against Ilia Topuria, and he was knocked out cold in that one, so this fight will take place like 3.5 months after that KO. We'll see how Oliveira rebounds to his first knockout loss of his career, where he was knocked out cold. This will be like 110 days after that. Prior to that loss to Topuria, he won against Michael Chandler, and before that, he lost a split decision to Arman Tsarukyan. Close fight, hence the split decision. For Fiziev, he's being very active this year. This will actually be his 3rd fight in 7 months. He beat Bahamondes by decision just over a month and a half ago, and he lost by decision to Justin Gaethje in March. If Fiziev can pick up the victory, he could break into the top 5, beating number 4 ranked Oliveira, which would be impressive if he could get into the top 5 because his record lately hasn't looked that great, but a win over Oliveira could put him in the top 5 in the rankings. Fiziev's problem is he just can't beat Gaethje. He's lost to him 2 times over the span of 2 years, both times by decision. This is a fight night card, which seems to upset some Charles Oliveira fans who say, what the F is the matter with them, putting Charles on a fight night? Why Charles Oliveira back on a fight night card so fast? Some are pessimistic about Charles's future, saying welcome to the end of Charles Oliveira, and others think that the UFC are doing Oliveira like Robert Whittaker. Then there's some people who are upset that they didn't do Max Holloway versus Charles Oliveira. They wanted to see Oliveira versus Holloway, maybe for a BMF title or something like that. This is a fight that took place in the featherweight division like 10 years back at UFC Fight Night Saskatoon, and Oliveira lost that fight in the first round. Others note that this will be Charles Oliveira's 3rd fight since his fight with Arman Tsarukyan last year, whereas Arman Tsarukyan has not fought at all since that time and has no fight scheduled. He was supposed to fight in January, but back issues prevented that from happening against Makhachev. Some people think that Oliveira should wait longer after getting knocked out badly against Topuria, but even last month, quickly after getting knocked out, Oliveira talked about returning in November and December, and now he's returning in October. He's mentally ready. Physically, who knows, but even last month, Fiziev was very interested in fighting Oliveira when he talked about fighting in November and December, and now he gets to fight. Since Fiziev is 1-3 in his last 4 fights, people wondering why he's getting another shot at the top 5, and others are wondering why Charles Oliveira would even take the fight, but he did take the fight. Oliveira is dangerous everywhere. Of course, his jiu-jitsu is ridiculous, most subs in UFC history. His Muay Thai's become aggressive and effective, though, especially in the clinch, and also with front kicks and knees. He's chaotic, he thrives in scrambles. He only needs a small little opening to snatch a choke. Fiziev, on the other hand, technically sharp, defensively sound striker, elite kickboxing and speed. Much harder to hit than a lot of guys at 155, and he has excellent takedown defense. We'll see if Oliveira can force chaos and drag Fiziev into wild exchanges or get him to the ground. If it stays mostly on the feet in space, Fiziev's speed and position will likely give him an edge, but the longer it goes, the more chances Oliveira has to create scrambles or catch something in the chaos. They got 25 minutes to work, so it'll be interesting. 5 rounds. At the top of the division, apparently the UFC is trying to do Topuria versus Tsarukyan, the champ versus number 2. Makhachev is out of the division and taking on JDM probably in November at Madison Square Garden, so he can be removed from the rankings here. With Holloway not taking on Oliveira next, he could take on a guy like Dan Hooker, which could be an interesting, exciting stand-up fight. By process of elimination, Gaethje may take on Paddy Pimblett. He doesn't want to take that fight. He wants a title shot, but he may not have a choice on the matter. There were some rumors that Gamrot and Dariush may be rematching number 7 and 8 in the lightweight division. They fought in 2022, and Dariush took that fight via decision. Dariush just beat Moicano by decision. That's number 11. Number 12, Michael Chandler wants to fight Conor McGregor July 4th at the White House next year. And number 13, Ryan Benoit Saint-Denis is taking on Mauricio Rufy, giving Rufy a chance to break into the rankings. That will be in Benoit Saint-Denis' backyard of Paris, France in September. Khamzat Chimaev says he wants to stay active. He's fighting this month, and he says he also wants to fight in October in Abu Dhabi. I mean, if he becomes champion, he probably won't be fighting in October. I mean, even if he loses, he's probably not fighting 2 months after he fights, but he plans on staying active. He blames not having a U.S. visa for not being active. That may have contributed to some of his activity, besides being very sick. Regarding his issues with Sean Strickland, he says if Strickland has a problem with him, he's in LA, so he can meet with him personally to deal with that.
When you were in Vegas, you trained at Extreme Couture with Sean Strickland. Sean Strickland. He's been saying some stuff in interviews about, he just didn't like your approach. Just why do you think he's saying that, and do you have a response?
I don't know. When I was there, they never said anything, you know. When I leave the Vegas and when they stop my visa, they start to talk. When I come back, I'm in LA, bro. Come on. If it's something personal for you, just come. I'm here whenever you want.
Raquel Pennington is injured and out of her fight with Norma Dumont in September. Aileen Perez wants to take on Norma Dumont in October. Pennington's injured out of the Norma fight. Now Norma won't face me at UFC Rio in October. What's the deal, Norma? You don't want to go 5 rounds with me in Brazil? Scared of a little booty battle? Raquel Pennington says this one's hard to say. I've been with the UFC 12 years, 26 fights, and I never had to pull out of a fight. I've been dealing with a neck injury for a while now. My last fight camp, I had a procedure in September just to get through it and step into the octagon beginning of October. This camp, it's just been one thing after another. So yeah, I'm gutted to say I have to withdraw from this fight. Apologies to the fans, UFC, and my opponent, Norma Dumont. I'll be back, and I would love to share the octagon with Norma when the time's right. I'm hoping she gets a replacement opponent and her opportunity to compete is not stripped. Hyun Sung Park just fought over the weekend against Tyra, lost in the second round by submission, and he already has his next fight scheduled. He's going to be taking on Bruno Silva at UFC Fight Night Vancouver. That's October 18th. So Hyun Sung Park is staying very active. This will be his 3rd fight in 5 months, and it is doable because over the weekend against Tyra, he didn't take any damage. It was basically just a jiu-jitsu contest. Got taken down in the 1st round, out-grappled, got taken down in the 2nd round, out-grappled, face crank submission, victory for Tyra. No damage taken, though. Bruno Silva is coming off a loss to Joshua Van in June. It was a 3rd round stoppage.
I woke up and I started Christian. So that's crazy. I went with my wife to church for 15 years. That was part of the deal. I said, I'm not a Christian, but I'll support you. And it was really weird when I woke up. I'm like, I got to do it, you know? So that was kind of weird. And it's so much gratitude for everyone who's helped out. So many people have donated money, watch our kids, donate food. A lot of friends come and hang out with me. So just so much gratitude for the community around me. And it's kind of wild to me. I was always like, in my head, and I think this is true, I was a very controversial figure. You know, where there's some people who love me, but there's also some people who really didn't like me also. Sure. And I haven't had a negative thing said to me since I can remember. You know, it's been only positive. And just a lot of love from the community.
Yo, so I'm going to quickly explain how the weigh-ins are going to work for the 1-minute scraps, as this is our first actual event with a weight limit. So we've got 100 kilo max. So how it's going to work on the day, and this is how I think all weigh-ins should be, is you're going to step on the scales, you're going to put your gloves on, and then you're going to fight. Now, if you are over, no stress, I'm still going to make you fight, but you have to get a knockout to win. If you're over 5 kilos over, I'm going to have alternates there on the day, and you're going to have to pack your bags and get out of there. So be on weight, be ready to go. No weight cutting, none of this mucking around, rehydrating, 24 hours, none of this business. Get there, get ready to scrap. Bah!